Hi, it's Peaceful Nick the Medium. Hello, everybody. How are you on this new moon? So, if you're watching the replay, it is the new moon where I am. And I want to talk about how do we get a new moon? How do we get a full moon? Talked about this before. I have a lot of new people here. Sorry, my lipstick looks weird. I have a lot of new people on here now, and so I just want to use some of my science background to show everybody how we get a new and a full moon. So I'm going to draw the, oh, that looks really bad. Hello, say hi if you're here. Say where you're chiming in from. Earth. All right, so it's probably backwards. Yeah, of course it's backwards, but you get it. Sun, Earth. All right, so the moon orbits the Earth. The Earth orbits the sun. The Earth is a sphere. It's not flat. So if you think the Earth is flat, it's not. It's a sphere. I can have another whole live stream about that. But the moon goes around the Earth. The new moon is caused, now the moon is, oh, that looks terrible. It's really hard to draw backwards and upside down. Okay, let me try again. Let's try like this. Now, these sizes and distances are very different than reality. So when the sun is shining, on the moon, the light from the sun illuminates that half. This half is dark. This is now. Now we have a new moon. Over here, the sun is illuminating this half of the moon, and this half is dark. From our perspective, we have a full moon. So tonight, we have this scenario where the moon is between the Earth and the sun. So that's how you get a, oops, sorry about that noise. That was probably really loud. That's how you get a new moon and a full moon. So that's your science lesson at the top of the live stream for New Moon Madness and spiritual stuff with Peaceful Nick. So put your questions in the chat. I have actually, hi everybody. Oh, hi everybody saying hi. Hi Marby. Hi Cosmic. Hi Kimmy. Hi, Sandy. I got your email, Sandy. I've been busy doing readings today, but I will answer. Hi, Holly. Hi, Kimberly. So I have hi, Ray. I have the Spirit Exchange with Medium Kathy this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I do have a little bit of a scratchy throat, so I don't know if I'll make it the full hour tonight, but I'll do my best. Spirit Exchange with Kathy Behrens. We have the absolutely wonderful Miss Molly Knows as our guest for the 90-minute gallery. Miss Molly is a finder of lost items and remote viewer. So if you have lost an item and you're hoping to get some insight to how to find it, something important, go to kathybehrens.com, kathibehrens.com, or email me. And register for the Spirit Exchange a la carte. It's only $25 and you get readings from me and Kathy potentially. And I believe there are maybe 1 or 2 spots left, Kimmy. They booked up pretty quick. Here, let me type it in. This is where you can register, and it's a la carte Spirit Exchange. And I'll put it on there. So if you want to try to get one of those last minute seats, that should still be up on her website. So register there. And I have launched an annual mentorship, an annual one-on-one mentorship on my website. So that is for someone who is looking to have one-on-one attention from a spiritual leader like me. who can teach you about mediumship, who can teach you about your spirit guides, who can teach you about just getting in touch with your spirit team and learning how to use your mediumship abilities. That's all on my website, peacefulnickthemedium.com. I don't know if I have any bookings left for July. If I do, there might be one. I'm booking into August now. So if you're looking for a one-on-one mediumship reading, my next appointment's in August. I have ongoing one-on-one classes, etc., etc. So tonight, if you have any questions about any of that, put it in the chat. It is very humid and muggy today. Even though I have a dehumidifier, I am boiling. So if you have any questions, let me know. All right, so new moon madness. So I explained how we get the new moon, and that's tonight. Tonight is the new moon. Let me just adjust this. And what do we do spiritually, mediumistically during the time of the new moon? It is a time of new beginnings. It's the start of a new lunar cycle. So if you want to manifest anything, make you some moon water. Moon water is really easy to make. You get a jar, you put some water in it, you can charge your crystals in it, and you put it outside once the sun has set. You let that water sit outside overnight and pick it up as soon as you wake up, hopefully before the sun comes up or very soon after. This is an ideal time for setting goals and manifesting what you want to happen. Now, manifesting, I always say, 808, hi, TA. Welcome in, welcome in. Everyone say hello, hello, hello. And let me know what the temperature is where you're at, because I had some readings today, and some of my clients were in the northeastern United States, and they were in triple digits. And I'm like, oh, I'm in Florida, and we haven't hit the triple digits yet that I'm aware of. So great time for manifesting. Hi, Julie, word girl. And this Friday, I forgot to mention, the Twin Soul Stars podcast is, we have the wonderful and amazing medium Sean Michael Rutherford. In order of celebration of Pride Month, he is our special guest, and he's talking about all things psychic, all things medium, his experiences through his life. And that is going to be released Friday on all the different platforms. YouTube, you'll see me posted everywhere on my socials. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. Kay said 12 degrees in QLD. Do you mean 12 Celsius? In Queensland? Is that right? Did I guess that right? Let me know. 105 in humid in New Hampshire. Yeah. Ugh. Yes, I understand that completely. Yeah, you want the moon water and the sun's down enough now to be able to put it out. Hi, TA, listening to new moon ceremonies. It was 103 in South Carolina. It's raining now, so much cooler. Yeah, but then the humidity after the rain, because I've been to South Carolina many times. My mother-in-law lives there. And yeah, and I lived in Georgia for a long time too. So yeah, sometimes after the rain, it gets muggier and the steam comes right off the concrete. So time for new beginnings. This is an ideal time for setting clear goals. When you manifest, we want to set an intention. So write this down. If you're listening, you can rewind it. When you manifest, hi, Angel. Hi, Water Lily. Welcome, welcome. When you manifest, you want to set an intention. Number one, what is your intention? Your intention should be pure. It should be for the greater good. If you want to manifest something for yourself, make sure that it's going to suit the universe, let's say. You don't want to do things for selfish reasons, right? Set an intention. You have to do the work. So if you want to manifest a new job, you can't just sit around thinking about manifesting a job and then wait for somebody to knock on your door or send you a job offer. You have to do the work to get the job. So that, could be education, could be applications or resumes. Everything's online now, which kind of sucks. Because there's nothing personal, and they have like AI going through all those applications, which makes it hard for people. And you have to allow yourself to receive. So those are the three things if you're manifesting: set your intention, do the work, and allow yourself to receive. Some of us forget that we can allow ourselves to receive because many people come from troubled past where we experienced trauma, past where we were in families with dysfunction. And so sometimes we forget that we are allowed to receive wonderful things. So Colorado Springs 70. My son is in Denver right now at a training for his job. So I'm sure he is enjoying that wonderful weather, my youngest son. All right, next, what is happening with the new moon? It's heightened intuition with the veil between worlds is often thinner during lunar transitions. So that is kind of like a time when you can communicate to the universe more clearly. I think that there's, astrology is really important, and it has a lot to offer us. I also think that, how sometimes there is a sacred site on Earth, and then we find out later that sacred site wasn't really the site of the actual event happening. But so many people have visited that sacred site for so many years, they've left their energetic imprint on it. And so it still has that ability to help people transform. I think that's similar with some things about astrology. The collective has invested so much into this time of thinning of the veil that the collective has agreed, well, this is the time that this happens, so it actually affects that veil thinning. Everything kind of works together. Everything is connected. So everything we believe affects the outcome, whether that's on a global scale, a community scale, or a personal scale, right? We're all locked into the collective consciousness. All right. So I prepared to receive guidance from Spirit, and it cut off my comment there during this time by doing what mediums call sitting in the power. And please feel free to continue commenting. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. It's absolutely free. I have a ton of good information. And share with your friends who may be interested in the same content. I prepare to receive guidance by doing something called sitting in the power. That is very important to mediums. All mediums should do this to some degree, depending on how much work they're doing with readings. Sitting in the power is similar to a meditation, but not exactly a meditation. Sitting in the power is where we take some deep breaths, clear our mind, elevate our conscious awareness up and out, and expand our conscious awareness up. You just imagine your awareness lifting above, and then you invite your guides in to greet you and to talk to you and to teach you things, and you can ask them things. Now, when you're a new medium and you're practicing this, sometimes you have to really be diligent and set a time and a space to do this. But as the years go on, you can really do sitting in the power anytime, any day. I do it before every reading. If I do 5 readings in a day, I do sitting in the power before every reading. So I do a long sitting in the power session before my first reading, and then a shorter one between each of the following readings. But it is important to dedicate time um, to every single client and to their loved ones in spirit to have a dedicated time to connect with the loved ones in between readings. So I clear the energy after a reading and then start a new sitting in the power before the next one, because usually I do my readings back to back. So I do sitting in the power to receive my intuitive messages for the new moon, for the full moon, for whatever I'm doing. That's what I do. That's what I concentrate on. Next, when I want to reset, let's say I did 20 readings in 10 days. That's a lot of readings, and it's just me. I'm a one-man show. I don't have anybody managing anything for me right now. So I'm doing everything. Plus I'm running my science job is doing a big thing I'm running right now, an international contest. So I've got that going on as well. So sometimes I just need a reset. And the new moon is a great time for a reset. You can just set aside time. Just set aside time. And you just say, you know what, today, and I have this planned for tomorrow. Today I'm going to paint, or today I'm going to get a massage, or today I'm going to go get my nails done, or today I'm going to just walk around the mall. Whatever it is, just to get you out of what you're doing normally for work, move your mind to a different area of something you love to do to give yourself a break. I also burn sage. So I have my little sage stick. Be careful. Not all sage is made equally. Some of them burn very fast and pieces flake off of them because they're not bound correctly. I had to rebind this one. So be careful if you're burning sage, but it's great to cleanse the energy of a space. So I burn a little sage. I say a little intention. Please clear the energy from the last reading or any previous readings. Please clear out any residual energy, any spirits. Please thank them and ask them to go back to the spirit world and be removed from my space so I can welcome in new energy. So that's one thing you can do. You can do this for the new moon, full moon, anytime. And that will shed any stagnant impressions or emotions picked up from clients or spirits. Next, to manifest through spirit, I talk about working with spirit guides. If you would like to learn more about your spirit guides, you can go to my website. Most of you probably already have it, and get my free guide to finding your spirit guide. Hi, Manx girl. Kimmy, yes. Okay, I'm going to rewind a minute. Can you say more about sitting in the power? Do you do a mantra or ask for guidance from a particular angel, ascended master, higher self, chant, or all of the above? So, before every reading, I sit in my chair and I have my plant friends here, which if you've been watching me over the years, you know, this forest behind me has grown significantly. Oopsie, I buy too many plants. But before every reading, I put on some hemisync music and I say, dear God, angels, loved ones in spirit, or dear God, angels, saints, loved ones in spirit, all other sentient beings, please allow me to connect with loved ones for such and such and so and so. Please allow me to bring forward their loved ones in spirit to prove that their life goes on beyond this earthly realm, and allow me to bring forward evidence and bring forward messages of hope, healing, peace, and love. So I ask for any sentient beings, any intelligent being in spirit, whoever it is, because I don't believe in evil spirits. So, or negative spirits. And I know Elise is on here and we've had some heated discussions about that. Hi, Elise. But I don't, but I think everything in spirit is positive. And maybe that's just a fantasy I'm creating in my head, but everyone I work with that's a legitimate, developed and trained medium feels the same. So, all right, let's see. I hope that answered your question, Kimmy Cat. All right. So you can manifest, you can talk with your spirit guides. This is a great time to do that. I did a lot of readings today. I'm very tired and I did a lot of work with my other job. The new moon is an invitation to manifest with intention. Remember I said earlier, when you manifest, you want to set your intention first and foremost, not just from the mind, but in alignment with the soul's path. So it cut off the rest of that there because it didn't have enough room to type my notes. So these comments are from my notes. So you have to be in alignment with your soul's path. Now your guides will bring you right back to where you're supposed to be if you're not in alignment. You can go off the beaten path for a little while, but your guides are going to bring you back. All right, so let's see. We got more comments. Oh, you are welcome, Kimmy. You are so welcome. All right, next we have the power of the void. So the new moon is considered the void because you can't see it, right? We can't see it from our perspective. Now, if we were on a spaceship out in space, you could see the other side of the moon. Half the moon is always full. Half the moon is always new. It's always dark. Only half the moon can be lit at a time because of the sun, right? It's a shadow of itself. So when you see a first quarter moon and it just looks like a capital D lit up, that's the side the sun is on. The other side, but the rest of the half of that moon is lit up. So it's full from another perspective. So think about it. You have to think about these things three-dimensionally. So if you think of the new moon as a void or an empty womb, it's fertile. It's ripe for ideas and manifestation. Sacred darkness is where anything is possible. We have access to everything in the universe. We are literally, and I've talked about this before, made of recycled stars. Every atom in our body, literally, absolutely, scientifically, every atom in our body comes from stars that exploded billions of years ago. That is an absolute fact. Every atom in our body comes from stars that exploded. So we are literally quantum connected to everything in the universe because we have trillions of atoms in our body that came from hundreds of millions of light years away, billions of light years away. And every single one of those atoms, the particles in them are entangled with other atoms across the galaxy. So we are literally connected all together. So that is why I spoke myself in the face. That is why we can connect to the universe and manifest and bring in that power from all of those stars. All the energy in the universe comes from stars. And we are literally connected scientifically to every star. Hi, Abby. I'm glad you're here. Don't forget, I know it's scrolling across the bottom, to tune in to the Soul Twin Stars podcast. I mentioned that earlier this week. We have the lovely and wonderful medium, psychic medium, Sean Michael Rutherford. All right, next, ancestral support. So you can use this moon phase to call in your ancestors. Everyone has ancestors. Everyone has loved ones in spirit that they either did know in this life or they did not know in this life. And it's important that you understand that every person in spirit is on your side and wants you to be successful and wants you to meet the goals of your life plan. So be aware that you can, dedicate time, dedicate a space, burn a candle. A lot of religions burn candles. A lot of spiritual practices burn candles, make altars, burn some incense, do something to connect with your loved ones in spirit during this time. They hear you. They hear you. And they do guide your journey. They hear you. They're around you. Have no fear. Hi, Dolores. Oh, thank you, Kimmy. Yeah, we are absolutely from the stars. Okay. I got because science, right? Because astronomy degree and biology degree. The universe started with just energy. There was no matter. There were no atoms. All the energy in the universe, and scientists do this in a lab, all the energy in the universe, if you squeeze together energy in a lab, you can make a particle of matter. Okay. So the universe was just energy. That energy was squeezed together in some way. Nobody really knows how. But they know we have stars, so they know it happened. Those pieces of energy, let's say, squeezed together to make protons, neutrons, and electrons. Every star in the universe started only as hydrogen. That's the simplest element on the periodic table. One proton, one electron. That's it. Every star is fully hydrogen. That's it. Maybe a little bit of helium here and there, but very rarely. Only hydrogen existed and a little helium. We're not made of hydrogen or helium. We have some hydrogen in our body and probably some helium somewhere, but very little compared to the carbon, the nitrogen, the oxygen, the phosphorus, the sulfur, all the big elements. Those were fused inside of stars. Hydrogen gets squeezed in the middle and fuses, then helium, then lithium, beryllium, carbon, all the elements got squeezed together inside of stars. And when stars exploded, all of that matter went out, swirled together, formed new stars with planets. Those were the harder atoms that got blown away from the sun. And then here we are, right? So that's how that happened. I could talk for hours just about that. Manx Girl said, I was told after, I think you said a Reiki session, I have deep roots. We all have deep roots. Every single person on this planet has deep roots. I'm assuming you mean ancestral roots, because we've all had many lives. Think about it. We've all probably had thousands of lives. So we all have deep roots. So it's not untrue. It's just true for everybody, in my opinion. Dolores, someone mentioned to me that I have gifts. I just don't know what they are. You have to, I would do some sitting in the power. I would do some meditating. If you don't already have my free guide to finding your spirit guide from my website, I would download that. You just have to put your email in and it'll come straight to your email box. And it has some video links. And I would start learning who your spirit guides are and ask them. And you won't know. I also have videos. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel that says Mediumship Information and Learning. I would definitely go there and watch some of those. There are some 2-minute videos, some 5 minutes, some 10 minutes, some 2-hour videos. So watch the ones that you like and see if any of it resonates. You'll figure it out. You'll be led to it. Water Lily. I missed something somewhere in here from Water Lily. Most intuitive, Kimmy Cat said, most intuitives are not scientists and love that Nick has all this info. She is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I was a scientist. I still work in science to this day. And so I was a science communicator and educator and still am. but mediumship hit me over the head one day, and here I am. All right, let's see what is next for the new moon madness. Energetic cleansing and recommitment. So for the new moon, you can share a practice for spiritual cleansing, like smoke, like I said earlier, salt, or sound. You can listen to some the bowls. I can't remember if anybody knows the name of the bowls, the sound healing bowls. Incense, salt. Some people do rituals with salt. I know Elise, if you're still here, Elise is a white witch. She has probably all kinds of cool stuff that she can recommend with salt. So we can recommit ourselves and realign ourselves for our higher purpose. Each of us can do that. You don't have to be a medium or a witch or anything. We can also have divination rituals for clarity, pulling cards, which I actually did before I popped on here. I pulled some cards for myself. Scrying, which is kind of a drawing practice. Miss Molly does that. She's our guest with the Spirit Exchange on Sunday. She's a finder of lost items. She does scrying, where she draws pictures of loved ones in spirit. Automatic writing. These can so if you're ever just like lost and you don't know what to do, this is a great time to just get a notepad, a piece of paper, a pen, a pencil, and just take some deep breaths, 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then just ask spirit. You don't have to know your guides' names. Just say, please help me with this problem. And then just start seeing what you write down. Just keep your eyes closed and see what you write down. Try to write neat if you can. Or type. If you're a good typist, you can do it with typing too. It doesn't have to be handwriting. So sometimes you get all kinds of really cool information doing automatic writing. Kimmy said, first spirit guide came to me a year ago and just knew it was an ancestor, and recently found out that name is a popular indigenous name. It was a bit scary to hear a name that isn't familiar. Yeah, some weird stuff can come through. You have to Google it, right? I was giving a reading a couple weeks ago, and the client was saying that she had seen her great-great-grandmother in her mind's eye. And she said, can you tell me anything about her? Hi, Panda. And as soon as she asked me that, I saw an indigenous woman in my head, and I described her, and she said, that's her. She was 100% Cherokee. And I was like, well, this is your validation that she is really guiding you. So I love it. Thank you, everybody. All right, so group energy amplification. So Lady Shadow, who is my co-host on the Soul Twin Stars podcast, and I talk a lot about group energy amplification. When we gather together as a spiritual community to raise a vibration, like right now is a super powerful time to do that. We need to raise the vibration. We have community suffering all across the United States for sure. And I know the rest of the world is suffering because of a lot of different things you see in the news. And if we don't start amplifying our energy as a community here on my live streams, when I do Spirit Exchange, when I do my podcast, all the different things I do to try to help raise the vibration. And I'm not just the only one. There are lots of us healers that are doing this because we need healers more than anything. So I appreciate you joining and watching the replay if you're watching the replay, because it raises the vibration. Any little bit we can do in our community to help anyone feel better, even if it's for 30 seconds or 5 minutes or 30 minutes, anything to raise the vibration will help the overall plight of humanity. And we need it. We need it badly. All right. Kimmy said, second spirit guide came about a month ago, right after you mentioned your video, and I did the meditation and heard the name right away. I was quite floored. They want to come in. They want to come in. They definitely want to come in and talk to us, because they want to guide us. They want to guide us. They want to help us. They're there to show us the way. And if you listen, some people hear outside their head, some people hear inside their head, but they definitely are there. And I get a question a lot about spirit guides. Can my loved ones in spirit be my guide? And there are some spiritualists are very clear and rigid. So when I teach my mediumship classes, I tell my students, listen, I'm not a big person about labels. I don't believe in boxing anybody into any belief system, because everything is malleable. Everything is bendable. There are always gray, fuzzy edges to everything. So if you believe your grandma or your mom or your best friend or whoever is your spirit guide, that's fine by me. Believe they're your guide, because they're guiding you for sure. Now, when we train mediums, I always clarify, technically, and I don't care what you call them, but technically, spirit guides are people you did not know in this lifetime. And people you did know in this lifetime are helper guides. Now, there's no difference, right? That's splitting hairs. And it doesn't really matter what you call them, as long as they're helping you and guiding you. And then angels are apparently beings that have never incarnated on Earth. So those are the definitions that I was taught. Doesn't matter if you call your mom your spirit guide, if you knew her in this life. No, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect anyone at all. Just know the difference, the technical difference, if you're going to teach mediumship or be a medium. So that's what I'm going to say. Any last minute questions? As you can hear, my voice is getting weaker by the minute. I am going to pull a collective card. So I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to mute myself and shuffle because it's loud. All right. Kimmy said, been meaning to ask, have you ever attended a spiritualist church? I went to live readings in a spiritualist church, but I didn't attend for a spiritualist presentation or whatever you would call it. I'm not even sure what you call it. Thinking about going that route. Thoughts? No, I enjoy the questions. Do not ever apologize. I enjoy them. I would say try it. And if it resonates with you, do it. I just don't have one near where I live that's close enough to get to in a reasonable amount of time. But I'm sure there are some online I could probably check out. But yeah, if it resonates, join it. I had a big discussion with my youngest son the other day, and I was telling him, he's very business-minded oriented. He's always trying to help me with my business, and God bless him. He wants, he wants the best for his mom. And he's like, how do you, he had different ideas about how my business worked, but he said he was very upset when I said, I tell my clients they don't have to, if they don't resonate with me, don't book with me. If you don't resonate with me, don't learn from me. And he was very, very upset, very upset. Water Lily, I agree completely. And I said, well, it's like, and I asked another female who was in the room, I said, hey, other female in the room, I said, when you go to the gynecologist, does it matter if you like that person's vibe when they're going to be examining you privately? Do you just want anybody to do that? And she's like, of course I want to, feel comfortable with them. And then she said, it's like having a therapist. You're not just going to go to any therapist. You want to vibe with them. So, yeah, you definitely want to vibe. And yes, ask as many questions as you want. All right, collective card for the new moon. Whoa, oh, confidence. Okay, so whatever you do in your life, do it with confidence. An example of that is I used to teach my students, because I used to always make my students do presentations and public speaking, because it's important to learn how to do that. And they would be like, and it was always like astronomy and physics stuff. And so they would be like, but what if I can't pronounce that moon of that planet? I'm like, first of all, Google will tell you how to pronounce it, but that's beside the point. If you don't know, say it the first way the whole time. So if it's Jupiter and you say Jupiter, say it Jupiter the whole time. So you're confident in it. So confidence is important. Know that you are capable of succeeding and accomplishing anything you put your mind to, obviously within reason. And know that you can do it. You can do it. You have the power of all the stars connected to you in the whole universe. You are loved. You are being guided. Listen to your guides. Tonight, manifest, set your intention, do the work, and allow yourself to receive with confidence. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll be live again at some point. You'll see me pop on here, but every Wednesday at this time, I'm live on YouTube and Facebook. Like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends and loved ones, and I will see you again next time. Have a wonderful night. Happy new moon.